Hello everybody, welcome back to another Kid and Kin video. What's happening, y'all? Once again, I spent a few days now uploading anything on this channel. I was pretty much really exhausted and I had no energy in me to make videos using a slow computer, but I'm back again, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the time when my friend tricked me into letting him sleep in my house about a couple of weeks ago. It did not go as well as we planned it at all, but the night was interesting to say the least. So, let's play Sleepover Gone Wrong. Once upon a time I was just chilling at a friend's house on a Friday evening. We'll call him Quinn. Quinn and I were playing cards since we had nothing to do. The day was pretty boring. Everybody else had something to do. We played card games like Crazy Eights and Blackjack. He also showed me a few cool things on his PlayStation 3. As he was playing video games and I was watching, a friend of mine calls me on Snapchat. We'll call him Craig. For the longest time we kept calling each other because we couldn't answer each other's calls. Eventually I finally answered his call. He tells me that I should meet up with him at his house, which was down the street. He didn't even ask, he just straight up told me to come to his house. So me and Quinn went over because I wasn't about to leave Quinn to hang with someone else. Craig then tells me that he's sleeping over at my house out of nowhere. I tell him that the chances of my mom letting anybody that's not related to me sleep over at my house is 1 out of a million. But he didn't care and just had me tell his mom that he's sleeping over. Craig wanted to spend the night at my house instead of his because his house was boring to him. To be honest, his room was more entertaining than mine. He has a flat screen TV with an Xbox 360, I think, with games including GTA 5. He can even watch YouTube videos on it too. All I have is a slow computer that runs on Windows XP and a TV from the early 2000s with a little jacks plug it in and play machine that contains 4 Pac-Man games. I do have an iPad mini, which is the biggest screen you can watch YouTube videos on in my house, but it's dead. And my friend that lives about 7 miles away from me has my charger for it. Anyways, Craig, Quinn, and I leaves the house after getting his mother's consent. Quinn decided to go home so he can have dinner and go to bed for the night. Craig and I reached my house at around 7:30 p.m. My mom wasn't home. We both started hitting up people, wondering if anybody with a car can pick us up and go around to places. And sure enough, a friend told us to wait outside of the house. It seemed pretty sketchy for me to just wait outside because I didn't want my mom to come home for break and see that me and my friend are outside fully dressed. I'm sure that my mom would be mad at me if I was outside of the house past 7 p.m. without her consent. Eventually, the friend that told us he was going to pick us up arrived with his car at around 8:30. We then drove around, stopped by at a friend's to say hi, and then we ended up at a park around 9:30 p.m. The plan was to wait for a couple of friends to pull up in another car so we could drag race. I know it's illegal, but nobody cared at the time. Eventually, they arrived at 10 p.m. They did a 5-point U-turn just to align their car with the car I was in. As we sat at the park, talking to each other and discussing how this race was going to go, the cop arrives at the park. The cop said that we looked suspicious and was wondering if we were doing anything illegal, and sure enough, we weren't. Yet. So the cops then tells us to leave the park. As he leaves, then we went straight on the highway. In my area, we have traffic lights in our area, so we used one of them to start off our race whenever we'd stop at one. We and a bunch of other cars were sitting at 90 miles per hour for a good 15 minutes. We went to Walmart to buy some drinks and mess around, and then we ended up at a park around midnight. As we were at the park, we started racing each other by running. We were messing around, doing whatever. After that, we saw a guy inside his house. The curtains were wide open and the light was on, making it easy for us to see him. We then noticed that the guy wasn't wearing any clothes, and we started dying of laughter. It was just a naked guy getting his midnight snack in the kitchen with the curtains wide open for us to see. Shortly after, the guy realizes that his genital area has been exposed. He reaches his phone and starts calling someone. We all thought he was calling the police, so we immediately left and we all went home. We weren't trying to get caught by the police past curfew, and a cop had already approached us at another park. It's 12:30 a.m. and it's just Craig and I. We're both standing in the front lawn staring at my mom's car. I had to sneak Craig and myself in because I didn't want my mom to see me entering the house this late, and then she yells at me and takes away all my stuff for the last time. So we went into the neighbor's backyard, climbed on the fence, and snuck into my room. Craig and I just went to sleep since there was nothing else to do. I woke up at around 5 a.m., went on my computer to work on truancy while Craig was still asleep. He woke up at around 8. We sat in my room doing nothing but sitting on our phones. Craig then sneaks back out at 10 while I spent the rest of the weekend doing nothing but watching YouTube videos. The end. The moral of this story is, don't do anything I said in this video. Don't sneak your friend in to have a sleepover, don't drive 30 miles over the speed limit, and don't be out past curfew. I know that I end up being involved in this activity, but still, y'all shouldn't be doing it. And I shouldn't be doing it either. Don't do drugs, stay in school, get good grades, and keep watching my YouTube videos. Well, that's it for this video. Thank y'all for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like this video if you did. Subscribe to this channel if you're new to my content. Follow me on Twitter at ClitterPlux. Add me on Snapchat at KinandKin. Join my Discord channel. All the links will be in the description below. Share this video to anybody who had to be snuck into a friend's house for a sleepover. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace out. Sauce.